Hello, it's your old pal, Karl Welshman, just having a nice non-alcoholic beer, sitting out in the sunshine. It's been a busy day. So what is dystonia? It's been a little thing that I've had in the top of a lot of my videos in the intro. You know, the silly little intro with the cartoonish version of my face. And it's just a little bit in the top corner that says, what is dystonia? Well, in case you don't know, dystonia is a neurological movement disorder, an involuntary movement disorder, often linked to Parkinson's. So I'm guessing that a lot of you have heard of Parkinson's. Parkinson's actually is very different to what a lot of people think Parkinson's is. So a lot of people think Parkinson's is the sort of shaking and, you know, involuntary movements, but Parkinson's is actually linked to slow, purposeful movements and issues with coordination and lots of other things. You know, there are obviously shakes and things that go with it, but more often than not, when you see someone who's been diagnosed with Parkinson's, they've actually got elements of dystonia as well. So when you see the involuntary movements, that's often dystonia. And why this is a big thing for me is that I've had dystonia for more than 20 years. It's incurable. It can come at any point in your life. There's a bit of movement going on right now, but that's my stupid fucking camera. It's just, I've got it sitting on like a little fucking deck chair with a stone to try and keep it in place, but the wind there caused it to move a little. Anyway, yeah. So I've got a type of dystonia called cervical dystonia. And that means that I'm actually unable to keep my neck still, my head still. There's lots of different types of cervical dystonia. Some forms of it are really extreme, and it means that people's heads are fucking tilted back or to the side and really extreme. I count my blessings that my dystonia isn't actually as bad as it is for a lot of people. My dystonia came about when I was in my 20s, not long after the birth of my first daughter. Yeah, I just noticed one day that I wasn't able to keep my head focused and looking forward. My neck was pulling to one side, and I went undiagnosed and misdiagnosed of dystonia. Misdiagnosed, first of all, with depression, and I had to sort of do my own research. You know, Dr. Google's, good old Dr. Google's, got on there. Did a bit of research, literally typed in involuntary neck turny thing, and lo and behold, I found this thing called cervical dystonia. Went to my doctors and said, look, this is what I think I've got, and they said, no it isn't, Mr. Welshman, that's not what you've got. And I said, look, turn around and fucking type it into the Googles on your computer there, and look at my records from the last 4 times I've been here. And I've literally got everything that's listed that comes under cervical dystonia. And yeah, about 3 years later, I finally got to see a neurologist where I was officially diagnosed. Dystonia can affect any part of the body that's got a muscle. Very, very, very uncommon to affect any internal muscles or internal organs, but it can happen in very, very, very rare cases. But for the most part, it can affect any other muscle on the outside of your body, including your eyes, your tongue, you know, your legs and arms and things like that. So it's a horrible condition. It's a really horrible condition. No cure. A bit of a mystery of where it comes from. Some people can get it from head injury. Some people can get it as almost like a form of repetitive strain. So violinists and things like that can end up getting it because they've conditioned their brain in such a way as that they're, you know, holding your violins and playing your violins like, how do you play a violin? It's like this, but yeah, so violinists and things like that, piano players. However, it's really important to know that it is not a repetitive condition caused by doing that. It can actually come out of nowhere. It can affect you at any age, at different severities. For the most part, they do think that it's not degenerative and that it doesn't get worse. However, from my own experience and from some of the work that I've done with dystonia groups and things behind the scenes, it's more often than not, it is actually something that gets either worse or changes to something else. Mine started off as a turn in my neck, pulled my neck to one side, and then I developed a tremor. And you're probably going, you really notice it, Karl. And that's because I tend to gesticulate a lot. So I'm moving a lot and doing lots of movements, and, you know, I'm getting on a little bit wired, a little bit fucking crazy. But if I try to sit still, check this shit out. So, oh, yeah. So there's different treatments, ranging from taking tablets which are like relaxants, almost like a sedative that will relax your muscles, but unfortunately also does affect your brain in the way of focus and concentration, and even being able to speak. It makes people very sleepy and drowsy, but relaxes the muscles enough that they are not hurting or pulling or driving people fucking mad. Some people also opt for Botox injections, which I was offered, and we're not talking Botox in the face, but we're talking about the same stuff, but directed directly into the affected muscle, because it'll essentially freeze it and stop it doing what it's doing. Very painful, doesn't work every time, and for some people it actually exasperates it and can make it much worse. So really shitty. Then we go to the other end of the spectrum, which is really, and it's life-changing for a lot of people, and it really can help them, and that's DBS, so deep brain stimulus, where they essentially have a machine connected up to the brain, goes through the brain, and I believe, I can't remember where the wires lead to, but essentially they change the frequency of the electric nerves, the electric signals through your nerves, and they can actually stop the dystonia for many people, change their lives completely. Absolutely incredible. And yeah, it's a condition that doesn't necessarily have a cure for everyone. DBS is not an option for everyone. Some of the tablets are not going to work for people because, you know, they want to have a fucking life. They don't want to be stoned off their fucking minds on tablets. Cannabis does help many people. Dystonia can be exacerbated by stress and depression, so anything that can chill you out will help. Right down to a single pint of alcohol can actually switch mine off. I did actually tell the neurologist this, right? They did some blood tests and come back and went, Karl, no, you're not actually alcohol responsive to dystonia. Your blood type doesn't match people that we've got on our databases as people that, or someone that would actually have their dystonia turned off from alcohol. So, which is weird because I know my own body, and I know that when I do drink alcohol, my dystonia does actually stop. But, you know, doctors know best, don't they? Nah, fucking hell. So yeah, so what is dystonia? It's an involuntary muscle movement disorder, neurological. A lot of people are like, do yoga and shit like that. It's connected to your fucking brain. No amount of yoga is going to fix it. Yes, it might help you relax a little bit, but we're not talking pulled fucking muscles here. I'm not talking pulled muscles. If you've got any questions, stick them down below, alright? Otherwise, just do a bit of research and have a look into it, you know? To finish up, I'm going to give my Dystonia a 1 out of 10. Because it isn't much fun. It isn't much fun. Thanks for watching. I'm going to carry on drinking this non-alcoholic beer. All by myself. Some rosy burgundy.